Okay, first off, I want to give a lot of credit to Coach White, his staff, and their program. You know, I was reading something today when, you know, and probably Coach White doesn't get enough credit on this nationally. You know, he did a great job at La Tech. He's a really good coach. Won a lot of games at La Tech. And then was at Florida, was the second fastest, I think it was like 150 wins or something, only behind Billy Donovan. So it took to Florida to 4 tournaments, had incredible success, and obviously it's his first year here at Georgia, and I think their team is really good, and so I'm a big fan of his and the job that he's done his entire career, and if you look at his entire career, he's been extremely successful. And so want to give a great shout out to and respect to Georgia, to Coach White and their staff. I thought overall it was a really good basketball game by both teams. I thought both teams played really well. I thought it was a really clean game. There was nothing lucky about anything. I just thought both teams played really well. And when both teams play well and there's, you know, 2 good solid teams, then you know, it just comes down to a shot here or there, or, you know, a last play here or there. So it's a great win for Georgia Tech and obviously for the Yellow Jackets. Really, really proud of our guys. Really proud of a lot of our execution in time and score. We spent a lot of time this summer and fall in time and score situations. And that's, you know, it's paid off for us in a game like this or a game like Georgia State. I thought we did a better job on the glass. Credit to Georgia, you know, they were hard to guard in a lot of areas. There was that stretch there in the second half where neither team could get a stop. And then obviously Miles Kelly down the stretch hit big shots. Davon Smith took a huge charge. Really proud of Davon, the improvement that he's made from last year to this year. And we've prided ourselves in this program about getting guys better. That's been a real big deal for us, is getting guys better, and you can see some of those guys have just continued to get better. And we're still a really young team, and you know, a really young team in a lot of areas. So Lance Terry had a big charge in the first half. Those are winning plays to be able to make those type of plays. But we had a really clean game. I mean, you know, Georgia does a great job defensively, forcing the turnovers, and we had. Hey, good to see you, Mike. You look great in the tie yesterday at the press conference. So I wanted to tell you that. Yeah, and you look sharp. And congratulations to Coach Key on becoming the head football coach officially today or yesterday at the press conference for Georgia Tech. He's going to do such a great job. Mr. Batt, President Cabrera. I mean, you know, obviously, we know how important football is, and I'm a big football fan. I think Coach Key is going to do awesome. He understands Georgia Tech, so real congratulations to Coach Key and his family, and a great congratulations to Mr. Batt and President Cabrera on an awesome hire. But look, you know, a couple things going back just about getting, you know, improving, you know, and all the time and score things, and also, back to the turnovers. So we had 7 total turnovers, but really 6. The last play of the game, I told Debo to throw it long, and he could have thrown it even longer, but he had to keep it in bounds, but could have thrown it to the other free throw line because we had no timeouts. So we needed to throw it long because that would have just started the clock. And he did that. So actually that was our 7th turnover. But really clean game. We've continued to get better bit by bit. Really proud of our guys. It's great to see Joel. Joel's a dear friend of mine over there. Joel's been on me a lot of things about my sayings, but Joel, we really have 0 margin for error, and so we've played it like tonight, and that's why, because only 7 turnovers, Joel. That's what our margin for error is slim to none. So, but it's a good win. Great win for the Yellow Jackets. Great win because Georgia Tech's going into finals on Thursday. So tomorrow's, I think it's reading day tomorrow. Is that right, Simit? Yeah, reading day tomorrow. Thursday starts finals. What a great way. This was great for the students. Because, look, to be at Georgia Tech, like, you've got to be brilliant to be a student at Georgia Tech, you've got to be almost in a genius level, brilliant. The students to be here, it's outstanding, awesome, incredible, and so I understand just watching them be able to, for our student athletes to do what they do. So for the students to get some excitement, and the students were outstanding today in the crowd. So for them to have that positive energy, that positive enthusiasm, that positive, feel going into finals is outstanding. It's just awesome. Awesome with the capital A. So really happy for the Georgia Tech students, because this is a hard school. I mean, I think there's 14 people that have gone to outer space from, where you been, Ken? You've been, okay, you've been outer space, okay. Now, Ken comes from listen, Ken graduated from Michigan. I don't think Michigan's as strong as Georgia Tech, but Michigan's a good academic school. But Georgia Tech is about as good as you can get it. 14 people from outer space at Georgia Tech. I think they discovered water on Mars from Georgia Tech's ability to find that. Think about the other things that Georgia Tech, think about all the things that Georgia Tech has come up with. It's mind-boggling. Anyway, that's that.
Okay, questions? Go ahead, right back there.
I did just graduate from here, and I can tell you, yes, a win like this matters a lot to the students, because tomorrow we want to sleep in and feel good that we're sleeping in. So that said, I do want to ask about the atmosphere, because between Key being here, Teixeira being here, the Cabrera's being here, like atmosphere-wise, this seems to be as good as it can get without it being a full sellout.
Yeah. Well, a couple things. Obviously, one is congratulations to you on that, and my hat goes off to you to be able to graduate from here. I know how that's just a special honor to be able to do that. Two, yes, great atmosphere. As I mentioned, the students were terrific. Just really so happy for the students, and their energy and their enthusiasm. But the total crowd was great. It was perfect to have Coach Key being kind of officially introduced in a sense, in the big picture of that. And Mark Teixeira was here, and a lot of people in that front row, and guys like Joel, who've been huge supporters through the not only the good times but also the tough times. And a guy like Joel's been there even during the tough times. So I don't take those things for granted. And Mr. Bat, my new boss, and obviously President Cabrera, to have him and his lovely bride there, and Mr. Bat's wife, her birthday was yesterday. So I told Mr. Bat after the game today, that's her birthday present, was the win for us to get the win. So I'm hoping Mr. Bat passed that to his lovely bride.
Going down the stretch when you're trailing by 4, the team had to make big plays on both ends of the court whenever the opportunity came up, and they really found a way to do that down the stretch.
Yeah, Rod, really just proud of our guys in the late game there. We've worked a lot on time and score, and there's some things that we've got to really get cleaned up too. Now, again, I thought for the most part, it was a clean game, but we've got to get some things cleaned up that we need to continue to improve on. But time and score late, we did some great things. And I'm telling you, we spent a lot of time on base out of bounds defense. And how many times have you seen where base out of bounds defense, late game teams get a bucket? We did a great job there in base out of bounds defense under their basket and got forced a turnover. We spent a lot of time working on that because of our system and how we play is a little bit unique and different, so we had to spend time on that. But again, I thought overall, Rod, it was a great game for both teams. Like I said at the beginning, I think Coach White is an elite coach. What he's done at La Tech, what he's done at Florida, what he's going to do I think he's really, really good. And his teams play hard. And Georgia's a good team, and that's a good win for Georgia Tech. And we got a lot of young guys. We've had to tough some things out, and to be able to get that was great for us.
I thought the middle of the second half, there's 18 lead changes in this game. When you guys were going back and ping pong, and was maybe some of the better offensive basketball probably since Jose and that group left 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Just what was working well, kind of like I imagine as a little hold your breath when you're going back and forth because of the way you like to play defense.
Yeah.
But just kind of what was going through your mind.
Well, we just, both, and that part of that was, if I was a fan, watching the game, I was like, man, what a great fun kind of back and forth scoring, and it was very clean both ways. Now neither team could get a stop, but I think, Kelly, we've gotten better, and that's a credit to my assistant coaches. To my associate head coach Anthony Wilkins deserves so much credit on that, and Coach Schwartz, and my assistants Coach Schwartz and Coach Eske, and so I give a lot of credit to the assistants on that. They've done a great job in those areas of us continuing to improve. But we've gotten better and have improved from where we were at the beginning, and so it's really proud of our guys to continue to see the improvement moving forward. And right now we're when we play the right way, Kelly, we're a good, we run a unique system. We're different. It's it's unique, it's different, it's outside the box on both sides of the ball, but when it's executed and run properly and get into the second, third side and playing the right way, good things happen.
Aaron?
Yeah, I have 2 questions for you. First, I know the star of the team is the team.
The star of the team is the team. The only way for us to like and Joel, our margin for error is 0. And that's why for us to be successful, the star of the team is the team. It can't be an individual. It's got to be the team.
But individually, I think you had your 100th win tonight at Tech. How do you feel about that personally?
Yeah, well, what I would tell you is winning is hard. When I took the job here, and I remember like it's yesterday, when I was in the room at the hotel room down in Houston, when I met with the group that was making the decision on the hiring, and I remember what they told me those first 3, because I was coming from Memphis, and at one time we were winning 30 some odd games a year, and we had over 70% winning percent, and they told me your first 3 years your record's gonna just sink. So can you handle that? I know I've told the story before. They kept saying, are you sure you can handle that? Like you're gonna lose so much at the beginning, because at the time they wanted to start over and start right from ground zero and start trying to build it back up. Well, the first year we were here, we just so overachieved. Those guys, it was incredible what they did. Year 2 and 3, we were young. Year 2, there's a lot going on, and we were young, and we struggled. Year 3, we got better as the year went on, but we had some of those losses. Now, year 4 and 5, we were really good. And then what happened last year, and I've said this, and not to go back to last year, it's totally on me. I thought Jose Alvarado and Moses Wright were coming back, and if they came back, I thought we were good enough to go to the Final Four and possibly win the whole. I thought that's how good we would be. And I thought both guys were coming back. And for 3 months, I walked on eggshells around them, dancing, like, hey, just let them be. I don't want to force them or try to push them out. And the mistake I made is I should have just put a deadline and made them make a decision. But I didn't, and they ended up waiting until the very end in late June, early July to both leave. So we were so young last year, so we struggled. But that's not on the players' fault. That's on me. That all being said, to get 100 wins on the day of today against Georgia, it's a little extra special because it's great for Yellow Jacket Nation, great for Coach Key. But to get any wins, you can't win without great players. And the only way we've been able to win here is we've had really good players, and I've had great assistant coaches. I've had great players and great assistant coaches. That's the only way we've been able to win. And I've said this before, I get paid by the minute I speak. So every word that I speak, I get paid for that. That's why I just go on these long. I'm joking about that, by the way. Go ahead, Ken. You got something?
I don't know if you addressed this or not, but Miles' 3-pointer, were you okay with it when he lifted up?
Yeah. You mean the one he made?
Or the long one?
Yeah. Absolutely. If he missed it, I might not have been liked it, but there's some things that we got to clean up a little better against the zone, but credit to George on that, Ken. But, hey, Miles has made big shots this year throughout the course of this year, and he's continued to get better. Look at the jump that he's made. I mean, there was a stretch, you guys remember last year, where I don't think he had made a 3 during an ACC play. If you guys remember that, he was like shooting 12%. Think how the jump that he's made from last year to this year. Again, player development, that's been really big with us. We've had to survive on getting guys better, and he's another example of that.
for a couple more. Kelly?
Real quick, can you talk about Jalen Moore on the last real possession by Georgia? He had the block and then the steal, which was just an athletic play, but kind of seeing some of the light bulb come on with him a little bit there.
Yeah. Well, a couple things. One, incredible charge by Davon Smith, by the way, to get that charge. That was elite and a winning play. Two, Jalen, the job that he did there late was really, really great just on him, in the position that he's in. He's going to continue to get better. You could see him getting better and better. And Kelly, the more he plays, the better he'll get. Part of that is he's got to have better understanding at some things in the middle there when we're in the zone, because we want to get him the ball there. He had a couple shots that rolled off the rim that he usually makes, but the more he plays, the better he'll be. And he had two, as you mentioned, two big defensive plays late.
Rob, if you want to wrap this up.
You shorten your rotation to 8 players tonight, and for the most part, I think 7 of those 8 got most of the minutes. Was that based on a feel of what you were seeing out there on the court?
Yeah, Rod. Like I was mentioned, the star of the team's a team, and we could have different guys. Could be a different every time we play. Everybody who's covered me knows I prefer to play less than more. As in terms of rotation wise, but so I just think it's going to be a game by game. There's still a lot of games left, long season. Everyone's got to stay ready. Everyone's got to continue to get better. And we just got to continue to just keep working at it and improving as we move forward.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Yep, thank you.